Guys, key trade today, July 22nd, another banger day. I ended up calling 3 wins, all three of them being longs, and I took the shorts in the morning. Overall, it was a great day, and we had a nice winning day yesterday as well. Coming into testimonials, we had Chris catch the longs, Butter catch the longs, Gabe caught the call out longs, and then Caesar caught a personal trade, and Caesar got his payout as well. Beautiful. My pre-market plan was simple, right? So we made a reverse overnight. I said if we were tracing these 1 hour fair value gaps, I want to find buyers for longs. I said if we deliver higher off open, hit the 1 hour bearish, or we sell through those 1 hour bullishes, that's my short to London low. I said there's a bearish SMT right now. So coming into the day structure, number one, our highest point was going to be that daily fair value gap. Coming in on the 1 hour, right? These were the 1 hour bullishes I was looking at. And then we had targets. We had London low, yesterday's low, the low on the week, right? Those are your sell side targets. And then we did what? Barely swept out that high. So coming into the open, that was your manipulation move. We popped off open. We barely ticked that high, instantly found selling pressure, right? Bearish SMT where we can see that we swept out this high. We made a new high off the open. If we see ES, we can see that ES already had swept out this high and this high, but off the open here, we failed to sweep a new high. So we made a lower high for ES. And then NQ off the open made that higher high. Again, what did I say? If we see sellers through the 1 hour bullishes, did we find any sort of buying at this 1 hour or this 1 hour? Nope, we sold straight through them. So my trade was pretty simple. In hindsight, looking back now, I did not capitalize very well. But I'm content with what I made, right? So I ended up taking this inverse 5 minute short. My call out would have been if we drew back into the 5 minute and then found our model. That would have been my call out for the live trade. So I took this trade personally. After we got the rejection, I got in at 306. Had a scale break even internal low, and I got fully out at the London low. Hindsight, looking back now, damn, I could have made a lot more. There was a lot of targets lower. But again, I just played my trade. I played my position. And I'm totally fine with what I got there. So we ended up delivering, right? Aggressively delivering lower. And where was the point where we started to find buying? Right at this low, and that low happens to sit in the daily fair value gap, right? So this makes sense to look for the reversal. So my first trade call out was the early entry. As you can see, we reswept this low. I knew a lot of people were going to try to long this inverse. We waited for the resweep. We had the SMT here. Keep track of 6:54 and 7 o'clock. Lower low for NQ. We come to ES, 6:54 and 7 o'clock. We made a higher high for ES. My fault, higher low for ES. Lower low for NQ. There's the SMT. And then this was a very simple setup. Just playing off the shift here, CISD shift. Called for a 41 entry long. Stop loss being placed at 19s. And your first TP, very simple. What would we look at? Minimum, we can likely draw into this 5 minute fair value gap. And then your TP2 conservatively would be midpoint of this 5 minute gap here. And that trade ended up playing out very nicely. But no one took that trade, which is totally fine as it was a very risky entry. So what did we do? We stayed patient. We knew there was going to be more setups. And this is where I called my second position, right? This is our 5 minute continuation long model. As we see, we broke aggressively to the upside, right? And now we're looking at this 5 minute fair value gap, right? We know if we inverse this gap, that's our short to a new low, but if we respect it. So I called two types of entries. I called my first entry at the 5 minute fair value gap, right? In the daily fair value gap at the 5 minute fair value gap, with your stop loss being placed just below. But that was my first call out. And then if you did not long that, we can zoom in and we had a bearish gap and bearish gap. I called for an 80 entry. This candle came in and shot straight through both of these. So when we were popping through this, I said you guys should get long now, which was around 180. And this trade, your stop loss would be placed. First was placed at this wick low. Once we formed this fair value gap, we instantly moved our stop loss up to this area. Here is a potential scale break even for 20 points. My TP being the 5-minute fair value gap above, which was this is the TP. And then I like how it aligned up with discount of the range, this being my TP2, but my TP2 was actually 230. And 230 is very simple. It is just the midpoint of the new week opening gap. So as you can see, that trade hit beautifully. If you got the first entry, you would have caught 55 points. If you got the entry around 80s, once we broke through these bearishes, you would have caught around 30 points. And that was the 2 trades for the AM. And then we hopped off. Coming into the PM session, I gave a plan out to the members that was beautiful. Here's what I said. So nobody wanted to hop on PM. I said there's a potential here. We have a 5-minute model, right? That 5-minute fair value gap being this play point here. Boom. What did I say? I said if we respect and run short, internal equal low, right? So I said if we respected this gap and ran short, your target would be these internal lows, right? And we can zoom in. We can see that we drew back into it. Did we find any respect? No, we did not. If we found respect, we would have saw the inverses and then we would have shorted down to those lows. We did not. What else did I say? I said if 23,200 5-minute, this fair value gap here, 23,200 gets inversed, that's longs to discounted highs around 40s. The only reason why I said around 40s was because I wasn't on the chart, so it was somewhere around here. So this was what? 35, right? So if you were playing that, you would have been able to see, okay, we did not respect, and we got a inverse close above. Here would have been your long entry here, and that trade paid 34 points to TP. Bam. Early entry, continuation to discount, and then 5-minute structure here. We hit here daily fair value gap. We re-swept. Did we draw back into this 5-minute and find selling pressure? No. If we found selling pressure, we would have saw these 2 bullishes get inverse. We did not. Inverse closed above the 5-minute. There is your long. Stop loss being placed here or here. Your target is what? Internal highs. You would not target a new high because we are bearish. And that is an absolute killer day. 3 wins called, a banger day. Thank you guys for watching. Leave a like, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you want to join the Discord, we have a link in the bio. We'll be happy to have any and all new members. But until next time, guys, peace out.